So if you have not lived by a particular point, principle, if you want to call it that, it's not a value, it's something that made you stand out within the physical, that was definitively to the benefit of all, there is just nothing. For instance, if you lived love all your life, meaning from your idea, the value or the principle of love, when you die there will just be nothing. Because that love was not real, it made no difference to the actual practical reality of those that starve in the world, those that are in trouble in the world. You were ineffective. You were unable to actually stand up and make a difference because you were self-centered in your own experience of, I am love, namaste. I recognize the God in you as you recognize the God, whatever, the God in me and the God in you. I mean, that's like saying, actually, I recognize the system in you, and I allow you your system, you allow me my system, my personality, and therefore we are allowing each other to be who we want to be. We have free choice and free will. And therefore I don't really care what you do, just don't care what I do. Let's love each other. Everything will be fine. Those beings, when they die, is just nothing. They start again. I mean, remember that what you have to bear in mind, what we found in the metaphysical. Now, the metaphysical includes heaven, but also includes what was not heaven. Remember, that is all that is existent, is the metaphysical. What did we find? It was a fascinating thing. Evolution, from the perspective of karma, reincarnation, has never happened. There has been no betterment of the soul, so to speak. The soul itself did not exist but as a body within the physical, through which the recording was kept of the life. And that recording would then go into the Akashic record, and your next life from there will be, snippets will be taken, and it will form part of maybe your next life, when it is designed and programmed. So the soul was the programmed body, which is the body of intent of what you are attempting to live this life. Okay. There has been no improvement of any being through aeons of time. In fact, there has been a devolution, a diminishing that has been taking place, which you can see now in this reality, in the way human beings are interacting. Their concern for each other has been diminishing considerably, and is doing so more and more, and the need for a savior is increased. That is done specifically to keep control effective. Because the higher the need for a savior, the easier it is to provide one that keeps you occupied for a while until you are disillusioned, and then another one is created.
It's the same way with relationships too.
Exactly the same. But it's the same. What is the primary method used now for that? Is politics. Politics has become the new religion of the new age and has replaced religions. And therefore religions are now using politics to try and remain relevant.
Yes. So, if we live a life through a principle of our experiences, we're goners. Living it through principles, that's going to require self-honesty. Being constantly...
What is self-honesty within the context of equality? You have to observe you have no more impact than that which you have impact in, which is your life, according to how you live it in every breath. You cannot be self-honest within the bigger picture because you have no influence. To try and be self-honest within a bigger picture where you have no actual influence will only dishearten you and will actually destroy you, because that's dishonest. You don't have impact. So how could you then live as if you have impact? You have impact in your daily life in breath by breath. That's where you apply it. That's where you live the principle of equality and oneness, because that's the only place you can.
So you can't do it through activism or...
You can become
politics.
part of activism and form a group, and from there start to push. But that would mean now the group must remain self-honest.
One and equal.
You are, and one and equal, you are creating another being, the group.
Okay.
So there you will be self-honest within your own life, and you will be self-honest in and as the group. And yes, groups will have to form in terms of this, to bring forth or to stand up and make a noise about what is it that we require and get to the point where we get it. I mean, imagine your next life, you're coming back here.
That is of some concern.
Before, your next life was determined by beings that was in control of heaven and who were doing things in the context of their self-interest.
So
So
how has that changed since...
They had a group of
gone?
elites in heaven that would have all the good lives. And anyone that challenged that would be taken care of. Now everyone will reincarnate equal to what they have done to others. And they will become that which they have done to others. And they will experience it until out of that experience a principle is born. A principle that considers all life. That's rebirth. Once you start living by principle, equal and one for all, experience becomes irrelevant, because it is inevitable that the experience of all will be equal and one, and therefore to the best of all. All you undo is you walk as the principle, which is what everyone will have to do. You're not going to make a change immediately. It's going to take time. It's going to take some living according to a principle. So I suggest the easy way is you live by the principle and start to look at the practical way of living the principle, which is in and as breath, within that context where you can make a difference. Then you can create groups, entities. A group which is based on the principle of equality and oneness, participate within that, within the context of your ability. Support that deliberately, actively.
So it's living as the principle until the principle as you that
Becomes
you're
the
living
experience.
and becomes manifest
Yes.
as you in your reality or world.
And in the whole world as everyone. So therefore, the way to live is to live by principle, equal and one. That's the principle I'm living until it's manifested. Therefore, everybody is equally responsible. The only point where if one now, for instance, deliberately would not consider everyone in existence, the vices is in place that will then shorten your stay in this reality and take you to the metaphysical, where you will remain as only that which you've been, which is normally nothing, and then you'll start again. Come back here, equal to what you have done to others. Now, how is that determined? I mean, because now you don't remember anything. It is contained within the energetics of the unified field. Your energy here carries dimensionally. Remember, there is an idea that exists that apparently we are evolving to become multidimensional. Hi. I mean, there couldn't be a bigger lie. You are multidimensional.